Continuing now with former Vice President Dick Cheney, his daughter Liz Cheney, authors of the big new book, Exceptional, Why the World Needs a Powerful America. So, Ms. Cheney, you've been a very strong critic of President Obama. Do you see any difference between his leadership skills and Hillary Clinton's leadership skills?
I think that one of the most important things for people to remember, and there are different people, different types of leadership probably, but the national security disasters, frankly, that we're seeing around the world now, many of them are ones that began on Hillary Clinton's watch as Secretary of State. And so she may try as best she can to sort of separate herself, to put some daylight between the kind of president she says she would be and the kind of president Barack Obama has been.
She hasn't thus far.
No, and
we haven't heard any policy differences at all.
Right, and she bears tremendous responsibility for a whole range of these issues.
Who's more liberal in your opinion, President Obama or Hillary Clinton?
I think there are different kinds of liberal.
How?
I think that you know, Hillary Clinton is obviously extremely liberal, or she wouldn't have served this president. Hillary Clinton seems to me to be sort of more of a chameleon. You know, I think she watches Bill Clinton, and she watches the kind of politician he's been, and I think she aspires to be that kind of politician. She's not. I think Barack Obama is the more skilled politician.
Well, are you saying that Barack Obama is a zealot and Hillary Clinton really isn't? She's more practical?
You know, I think she's not as skilled as Barack Obama is.
Well, okay, that's just a political. I'm just wondering what's going on in their minds here. Now, we know Bernie Sanders was a socialist and this and that. Well, where's Hillary Clinton as opposed to Barack Obama? It depends on what day of the week you ask. Okay. There is a problem in the Republican Party. I'm sure you're aware of it. You have the hard right, the purists, and that's what's driving Donald Trump right now, who say, look, we don't want to hear about any compromises. We want the illegal immigrants deported, all 12 million of them. We want the wall. We want this, we want that. And if you don't give it to us, we're not going to vote for you. We're going to stay home. And then you have the Jeb Bush wing, or the Mitt Romney wing, that's trying to find a middle ground to solve these problems, but still remain conservative. That looks like that's a growing problem in the GOP to me. Do you get that?
Well, Bill, I think it's not a new problem in the sense that if you go back and look at the elections from my career, my time, in '76, it was Ford v. Reagan. We've often had, especially as we go through the primary process, different wings of the party with remarkable battles. The key for us is to be able to put the party together again once we get through the convention. That's a real challenge.
It is. Romney wasn't able to do it.
That's correct. And, you had to end up sometimes with people staying home rather than going to the polls. I never
could figure that out, and I don't ever say or endorse candidates or tell anybody who to vote for. You're smart enough to know who to vote for. But if you really don't want a progressive agenda and you're a conservative, you stay home, it's exactly what you're going to get, a progressive agenda, because it's a changing country. Demographics are changing.
Yeah.
And illegal immigration and immigration in general is a reason for that, but not the only reason. Do you think?
Go ahead. But I think there's great interest on our side. We've got 17 candidates. Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, they're all smart.
A very broad range of capabilities, of philosophy, of ideology there.
But you see on the radio, on talk radio, that a lot of them are attacked. A lot of, if you say a moderate thing like, well, I don't think gay marriage is so bad, wham! You're having it like this. So you don't see that in the Democratic Party. They're much more, even though there's a lot of difference of opinion, they're much more coalesce around each other than in the Republicans.
I don't know. On the Democratic side, you've got the whole Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren wing of the party battling against
That's like
Hillary.
this, though.
I don't know, Bill. I don't know. I think, one of the areas of issues that we can find real unity on our side, that we ought to find unity on our side, are these national security issues that are the top priority for folks and ought to be.
Okay, now on the book Exceptionalism, I haven't read it, the whole thing, but it's translated. It's very timely, and I'll tell you one thing. Because of our abdication of leadership in the world, we have this migration problem in Europe that we don't spend a lot of time on here, but you got 350,000 people now wandering around that continent, all right? That's because we wouldn't lead, and these people want to get the hell out because they're going to get killed by ISIS or the Syrians or Iraq or whoever. And this is an unintended consequence of us pulling back, and that's what your book's about, right?
Exactly.
Right. If we don't lead, we can expect the world to unravel.
There isn't anybody else to do what we do.
Right. All right, well, we appreciate you both coming in, and the book is Exceptional. And you ought to check it out. It's a very interesting read. Next on the rundown, the federal government says most Americans receiving unemployment checks are not looking for work. Are you surprised? Then Jorge Ramos on why he is so invested in immigration. Up ahead.